Hi, it's Whitney Kell, and I am reading from Robert Lee Camp's The Love Cards today. And I've chosen the 3's as my reading. The reason I've chosen the 3's is because it's in my chart. And in this book, you'll see, if you choose to get it, that there is a chart for everybody, and you can see the different cards and where they lie, which planet they are in. And I believe the 3 is my Mars. So I'm going to read this. If you want to look below, you'll see where your birthdays must land if you're a 3, but you may have a 3 in your chart as well. So I think it's fun to read all of them. To fully understand the nature of 3's and of all the odd numbered cards in the deck, one must look back at the ace and see it is an evolutionary step out of the 0. The ace is the most primary of all the odd numbered cards, and all of them reflect some of its qualities in some way. All odd numbered cards represent a departure from the stability and evenness of the number preceding them. For the 3, this is a departure from the completion of the 2. Because the 3 is the leaving from the 2, many of them are never satisfied with what they have, and this is especially true in their personal relationships. It is not a quality to be faulted or looked upon as a bad thing. It is just the way it is. All of us at one time or another will experience the way it is. All of us at one time or another will experience what it is like to be a 3 person by having those cards show up in one of our yearly spreads. That's what I meant. Reading them all is a good idea. We may have a 3 of hearts long range card one particular year and experience a great deal of variety or indecision about our romantic life. We may have a 3 of diamonds Pluto card another year and be challenged to transform our worries about money into positive money-making ideas that we can implement for greater financial success. But for the 3 person, this quality of leaving is basically a way of life that they must come to terms with at some point during their life if they are to have peace and contentment. Peace and contentment are challenges for all the odd numbered birth cards. The odd numbers always represent an imbalance which is seeking balance through this creation of something else. These odd numbers are essentially masculine in nature, creative, and always in motion. Whether a 3 person is a male or female, they will exhibit this creative drive that seeks expression. Their peace will only come through some form of action accomplishment on the material level, which will ultimately lead them back to themselves. For the 3, the urge is for self-expression and variety. They are the generators of ideas, thoughts, and feelings, and must find a suitable outlet, lest they suffer the consequences of worry and indecision. Like Gemini sun sign people, 3's are versatile and often quite talkative. They can relate to many different kinds of people, cultures, and concepts because they are flexible. They are also quite resourceful and can come up with solutions to almost any problem that confronts them. If you need a good idea, talk to a 3. They usually have drawers full of ideas, some of which they are working on, but a multitude which they will never have the time or energy to start working on, much less complete. Art, music, and writing are excellent outlets for a 3's abundant creativity. Many of them become successful in one or more of these fields, and all of them need at least one of these outlets if they are to realize their birthright and achieve inner satisfaction. Many of them have several projects or jobs going at the same time. This gives them the variety they crave. When they start to get bored with one of the projects they are working on, they can switch to a second or third and keep going. This happens to be one of the most successful strategies for 3's. Otherwise, many of them go from job to another and never complete anything, which ultimately makes them depressed and miserable. They need to see at least some of their ideas come to fruition. 3's love romance. Astrologically, the 5th house energy is related to both creativity and self-expression, along with love affairs and romance. 3 people seem to have a strong connection to the 5th house in the ways they find fulfillment. It stands to reason that those with the greatest creative gifts would also have the strongest needs for romantic involvement and sexual pleasure. Add to this the 3's natural curiosity and desire for new experiences and variety, and you can see why so many 3's make great lovers but not so great marriage partners. They are just as likely to get bored in their relationships as they are with one of their current creative projects. They may feel like like having a new affair to remedy the situation and then jump back into your arms again when that gets boring. Though this may be a slight exaggeration, this is common concern for 3 people. Another thing that can contribute to 3's infidelity is their worrisome nature. Most of them, but especially 3 of clubs and 3 of diamonds, are worried about not having enough love, money, good health, etc. Though this usually manifests as worry about finances, it can spill over into their romantic love lives too. The 3 person might reason that if they have 2 or 3 lovers available to them, they will have less chance of running out of love when they need it. They can also explain why they might shy away from commitment and long-term relationships. If you put all of these ingredients together, you can see why 3s can be very complicated people with a great potential for either happiness or unhappiness. The happiest are those who have found a place where they can express their creativity and get well paid for it. They are recognized for their ideas and ability to communicate them. Many of them will make a real impact on the world with their creative gifts, and we will admire them for their contributions. I like the 3s. That is The Love Cards by Robert Lee Camp. If you want to learn more, I suggest you pick up the book. Let me know how this landed with you. Cheers.